Looking for a game that combines spatial awareness? I'm in a box. With your love of the sea? I'm in a box filled with piranha. Then let me show you how to play Reef, the aquatic abstract game that lets 2 to 4 players compete to build their reef in about 30 to 45 minutes. Setup is fairly quick. Each player starts with their own player board, one of each of these wonderfully tactile coral pieces that come from the communal piles, a set number in each pile depending on player count, 2 cards dealt face down to keep them secret from the other players, and 3 point markers.
Wow, you get 3 points for just playing?
Yes, you do, random traveler. And that's because in this game, your points are also your currency. Throughout the game, on your turn, you'll do one of 2 actions. Action 1, you can take a card from this 3-card center display here and replace the card from the draw deck. Or action 2, you can play a card from your hand, taking the designated coral from the top section of the card and placing them on your reef. And score points based on any patterns you have on your reef that match the bottom section of the card. To score a pattern, you just need to check the bottom of the card and see if you have any matching patterns on your reef. Now, for us, you see it goes this way. It's fine as long as it's a right angle to the pattern on the card. So this one and this one would match with these 2 pieces of coral, and this one and this one. Now, this bottom one would not match because we cannot use the same piece of coral in 2 matching point patterns during a turn. So for us, we'd have 3 and 3. That'd be 6 points for this card. Play continues around the table until one of the communal piles of coral runs out. And then you finish that last turn, and the one with the most points wins the game.
So why would I spend my hard-earned points?
Because you may find that that 3-card display doesn't have any cards that you want. So you can pay a point and take a risk and draw from the pile. This may reap the coral that you need or a scoring pattern that's just bubbling. That 1-point payment then goes on the lowest scoring card in the 3-card display, in this case on the 1, and accumulates, enticing others and yourself in a later round to take the card and gain those points.
Okay, but kind of sounds dry. Place coral to make patterns and get points. I can think of a few games that do something similar.
Well, here's where Reef brings in the dewiness that its namesake promises. It's time to introduce you to Reef's verticality. When you take the action to play a card, you take the coral pictured on the top as I stated before. But the coral do not have to go on an empty place on the ocean on your player board's reef. You can go vertical, stacking a piece of coral on top of another. In fact, you can stack a new piece of coral on any type of coral on your growing reef, up to a stack of 4. And in Reef, only the top view is relevant. So it's like we're marine biologists who never learned how to use scuba gear. So adding a piece to the stack changes the column to whatever piece is on top. In fact, some of the scoring cards have a number on them like this, a 4, which means that the stack needs to be that many number tall. So in this case, this stack, since it is this shape on the top, would be worth 5 points. Now, since a reef is a growing living thing, we can't remove or move any coral that have already been placed on it. So that's where the bit of strategy comes in, setting up your coral reef in a way that helps you in the way you think you may need help in the future, or noticing everybody else's reef and taking a card that they may want so they can't score those points, and hoping to entice them with extra points on one of these cards that maybe they don't really need. Besides patterns and stacks, there are a few other different possibilities for scoring. One is there are wild cards that let you choose any color that you want. There are multiple stacks with plus on them, which allow you to, it can be that number and up. Then there's the infamous center cards. What they do is they give you 2 points for every coral of the type listed at the top that is adjacent to the highest stack of the coral in the center that's anywhere on your board. It's a little fiddly, but there's 8 of these cards and they're pretty easy to figure out once you get it the first time. And that's how you play Reef. Reef's pretty straightforward. It's a great family game, but I found it to be a lot of fun with other groups because of these tactile coral. Everybody loves playing with these things. So try it with your group and have a great time.
I will. Thanks.
Welcome to Reef.
Wait, can I get out of the box?